In this video, I'm going to show you how to set up automation system for lead nurturing in HubSpot. Hi, if you're new here, my name is Emilio. I am a certified HubSpot expert. One of the major ways businesses are losing money every single day is due to poor follow-up, and that is why lead nurturing is very important. So, by the end of this video, you will understand fully why lead nurturing works best through automation, and also how to set up a simple automation system for lead nurturing in HubSpot. Let me explain to you why automation is the best fit for lead nurturing, especially when it comes to businesses. Lead nurturing is all about following up, sending emails, sharing resources, and staying in touch over time. And this in turn would help build trust between the lead and your business. So if you take a closer look at it, you would see that the sole aim of lead nurturing is to build trust, and up to a point where the lead starts trusting your company enough to take an action. Now the question is, how do you keep up with the lead up to a point where the lead has now trusted your product or your services to take an action? This means that you would have to be consistent in whatever you're doing. This could include sending educational content, newsletters, follow-up emails, and a lot more. And you might need to do this monthly or maybe weekly, and that is a lot of repetitive work. Once something becomes repetitive and intentional, it means that you might need to automate it in order to get the results you're looking for. Automation means letting the system handle those repetitive tasks for you automatically. Thinking about it, how the system know what to do and when to do it? It is simply by just setting rules, and that is what automation is all about. A set of rules you give to the system to follow, and these rules is what makes repetitive tasks happen automatically, saving you time, of course, while keeping your leads engaged consistently. And I know by now you know that in HubSpot, automation is known as workflow, and the workflow in HubSpot doesn't just run on its own. It is made up of two components: the trigger and the action. So this component is what forms the rules that makes the automation process run smoothly. The trigger is like any event that sets the workflow in motion. For example, it could be maybe when a lead submits a form or when a deal reaches a particular stage. It could be any event. And the action is just what happens in response to the trigger, like sending an email or moving the lead to the next stage. So basically, a workflow is just telling the system, when this happens, do this. When a trigger happens, take an action. So when a lead submits a form, send a follow-up email. And that is just what workflow is all about. Now for this tutorial, the workflow we are setting up is the lead nurturing workflow. And to make the workflow work the way we want, there are two things we need to understand: the goal of the workflow and also the flow of action. For this particular workflow, our goal is very simple. When a lead submits a form, we want to nurture that lead until the lead takes an action. For example, responding to the follow-up email we are going to send. And the flow of action is just how the workflow moves the lead from the initial submission to engagement. So now we've covered the first part of the video, which was understanding why automation is the best way to nurture a lead. It is time to put this into practice by setting up a workflow in HubSpot.
In HubSpot, head over to Automation and select Workflow. At the upper right corner, click on Create Workflow and select from scratch. The first thing to do is to give your workflow a name. For this workflow, the name we are choosing is Lead Nurturing Automation. Now to set our enrollment trigger, head over to the left page menu and click on Web and Media. Scroll down and select Form Event. Now choose Form Submission, because for this workflow, our trigger is going to be when a lead submits a form. We'll select the form we want to set as our trigger. We don't need a condition for this particular trigger, so we're going to skip and click Next. Then click Save and Continue. You're done with the trigger. The next thing would be to select the action. Now for this workflow, the respond action would have been to send a follow-up email. But before we can do that, we need to make the lead a marketing contact first. Because before you can send an automated email, you need to make a contact a marketing contact. So on the left sidebar, we're going to click on marketing. Then scroll down and click on Set Marketing Contact Status. For the contact option, we're going to leave it at Enrolled Contact, but we're going to need to select the Marketing Contact Status. So click on the arrow drop down and select Set as Marketing Contact, then click Save. Now that our first action has been added, when the lead submits the form, the automation would first set the contact as a marketing contact in HubSpot. To continue the workflow, click on the plus action button, then click on Communications, scroll down and select Send Email. This email is going to be sent to contacts who are enrolled in this workflow, so we're leaving it at Enrolled Contacts. For the automated email, we're going to use the drop down arrow and choose the email we want to use for this lead nurturing. Then click Save. For the next step in this workflow, we're going to add a branch. This will help us separate the leads properly. Those who respond to the email will follow one branch. Those who open the email without responding would follow the next branch, and those who won't even open the email at all would follow the last branch. This way, we can follow up differently for each type. So click on the Add Action button. In the left menu page, click on Branch. For this workflow, we're going to be using the and/or logic. So select and/or logic. The first thing we would do is to name the branch. Always name the branch based on what the branch is all about, so it is easy for anybody looking at the workflow to understand. After typing in the name of the workflow, click on Add Criteria. In the small page that opens up, scroll down to Marketing Interaction and select Marketing Email. Then choose the follow-up email you sent earlier. For the next filter, click on the drop-down arrow. Scroll down and select Contact Reply to Email. If you want to set a time frame for when the lead is supposed to respond to this email, you check the box next to Refine by Date. For this tutorial, we're going to set a 2 days time frame. This means that if a lead responds to the email within 2 days, they will follow this particular branch. Moving on to the next branch. Remember, we need 3 branches to make this workflow run smoothly. So we're going to add another branch. So click on Add Another Branch and repeat the same process. First type in the name. After typing in the name, click on Add Criteria. We're still going to scroll down to Marketing Interactions. Still select Marketing Emails and still choose the email we sent earlier. But for this next filter, we're going to scroll down and select Contacts who opened the email but did not reply. We're going to check the box next to Refine by Date and still set it to 2 days. And that is it for this particular branch. Now, if you scroll down, you will notice that HubSpot has already provided the default branch for contacts who did not meet any of these criteria. So we are simply just going to name this particular branch. Then click Save. Now the 3 branches for this workflow is set. We're going to begin with the first branch. For the next flow of action, we are going to change the lead status of those leads that have responded to the email. So on the left side menu, scroll down and click on CRM. Then scroll down and select Edit Record. The record type we are changing is contact record. So we're going to leave this record type on contact, but we're going to edit the property type. So click on the down arrow. To make it easier for you, use the search bar to search for the particular property you're looking for and select it. Leave the change type as replaced. Then click on the choose a value drop down arrow. Select the new stage you want the lead to move to. And finally, click Save. For the next flow of action, still on the same branch, we are going to notify the sales rep that a lead has responded to an email. So click on the action button again. Go to Communications and select Send in-app notification. Choose the user. If you have a team that you want to notify also, use the arrow drop down to select. But for this tutorial, we're not going to choose any team. Next, you can choose to notify the contact owner if there is one. Then select the notification type. For this workflow, we're going to leave it at desktop. Type in the subject of the email. Then scroll down and type in the body of the message. When you're done typing, click save. Now the workflow for the first branch is completed. When a lead replies to the email, the automation will change the lead status to in progress and then notify the sales rep that a lead has responded to the email. Now we're going to move on to the second branch. Click on the action button, then go to communications. Select send email. It's the same process as the first email we sent. Select the automated email you want to use, but this time around it's going to be a different kind of email. If you understand the psychology of buying, you understand what I'm talking about. Then click save. Now you're going to add another branch, so click on the add action button. We're still going to use the and/all logic, but this time around we're going to be creating just two branches. The first branch is going to be email replied, and the second branch is going to be email not replied. We're going to type in the name and then click add criteria. Then scroll down to marketing interaction and select marketing emails. Now we're going to select the same email we just sent, which is the second follow-up email. In the second steps filter, we're going to choose contact who replied to the email. For this tutorial, we're not going to use a time frame for it, rather we'll be using delay. I'm trying to show you this so you can have option. You can use the time frame or you can add delay to the workflow. It's like almost the same thing. So we're done for the first branch. Now remember, we're having just two branches in this particular section of the workflow. So we're not going to click add another branch, no. We're going to scroll down and use this other branch which HubSpot has provided for if none of the criteria are met. Then we're going to type in the name and click save. For the two branches we just created, let's start with the first one. Click on the plus then and repeat the same process we used earlier, which is first updating the lead status of those leads that have replied to the email finally, and then the next action, which is sending an in-app notification. Once that is done, the workflow for that branch is completed. For the next branch, we're going to send another email because the strategy for this workflow is to send 3 follow-up emails within 6 days after a lead has submitted a form. But first, we are going to be adding a delay to this particular branch. The reason for adding a delay is to make the workflow feel human and realistic. Imagine a company sending you 4 or 5 emails within 1 minute. It feels unnatural and it will crowd your inbox, and we don't want our client's inbox to be overcrowded too. That is why we're going to be adding a delay, and that is why delays are very important in a workflow. They help space out communication and make your automation feel more natural. To add the delay, click the plus action button. From the left menu, select delay. Next, we're going to choose the time frame for the delay. Click the delay filter drop down and select the option you want to use. For this workflow, we are selecting for a set amount of time. Then we're imputing 3 days. If you want the 3 days count only as business days, which means Monday through Friday, check the box next to business days only, then click save. Now the delay has been added to the workflow. After adding the delay to the workflow, the next flow of action would be sending another follow-up email. Once the email has been added to the workflow, we will then add another branch to the workflow. Just as before, this branch has to have 2 parts. And we're going to be repeating the same process for leads that have finally responded to the email, which is changing the lead status of those leads that have finally responded to the email. Then sending an in-app notification. For this branch now, we are done. For this branch, this time around, we're not expanding the workflow anymore. We're done with the sequence of 3 follow-up emails within 6 days. So we are simply just going to add them to a static list. Click the plus action button, then head over to marketing. Scroll down and select Add to a static list. Before now, you should have created a static list where you're going to store leads that are not responding to the email right now. We're saving them here in a static list because we're still going to follow up with them later on. This segment is for contacts who are enrolled in this workflow, so we're going to leave it at that. But we're going to choose a value. The value is the static list you created before now. Then click save. So now when a lead has not responded to any of the 3 follow-up messages we've sent, they're going to end up in that static list. When we first started this workflow, we created 3 branches. The first one was for lead who responded within 2 days of sending the follow-up email. The second one was for lead who opened the email but did not respond to the email. And the third one was for lead who did not open the email at all. And now we're done with the first 2 branches. Let's make this workflow complete by setting up the last branch. On this branch, we're first going to send an educational email. This email is related to the solution the lead was interested in when they fill out the form. And we're going to be including a link in that email. Maybe a link for them to learn more, or maybe a link to a testimonial. So click on the plus icon, head over to communications, click send an email and select the email, then click save. Next, we'll be adding a branch to the workflow. So click on the plus icon, select branch. The first branch is going to be for lead who clicked the link in the email. After naming the branch, we're going to add criteria. We're going to scroll back to marketing interactions and then back to marketing email. Still the same process but with a slight difference. Click on the email. For the second filter, we're going to select contact who click a link in the email. For this particular criteria, you have to include the link. So click on the third filter and select the link you want them to click in the email. But we're going to give them a time frame within 3 days. Now we're done for this branch. Moving on to the second branch, we're going to give it a name. Then repeat the same process. But the second filter will be for contacts who opened the email but did not click on the link. We're going to give it a time frame. When that is done, we're going to name the last branch and click save. Starting from the last branch, lead who would go through this particular branch will be added to a static list. For leads who will click the link, we're going to change their lead status, then send an in-app notification. For the branch where the leads opened the email but did not click on the link, we're going to send them another message. This time around it's going to be an offer. Once that is done, we're going to add another branch. One branch is going to be for those who click the link in the offer, and one branch is going to be for those who did not click the link in the email offer. For this branch, we are going to go ahead and repeat the same process. Change their lead status, then send an in-app notification. But for the other branch, we're going to add them to a static list. Now we're done with the whole workflow. Once you finish building the workflow, click on settings to make any necessary changes and then turn on the workflow. You can now use the static list you created to create another workflow for monthly follow-up.
If you want to see a separate video on how this works, let me know in the comment section. Now, this video was all about understanding why automation is the best way to nurture a lead, and also how to set up a lead nurturing system in HubSpot using automation. So I'm hoping by now that you've gained a clear understanding of how this works. I'm going to be launching a free course on how HubSpot is built. All the details about this will be included in the description. And also follow me on LinkedIn for more HubSpot tips. And leave any question you might have in mind about this particular video in the comment section. I will see you in the next one.